up and hop at it. Rep for your bra, for your post, your poppin', your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Look how far we coming. Heartbeat of the streets, you can do it. Ain't built for the weekend. Sweet, this sugar, one man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods, damn it out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family. I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry cold is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Hit first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, so suspenseful, I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and see the flight of field. Rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead, easy to get rich or dead. Trying, this ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze, I won't, I can't lose, ready, rest or up bed. Do what you can to do, make it next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry cold is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Hit first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, way before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I keep it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry cold is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, let's go. Get first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See that pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, way before the deal.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money, we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over, he in diamonds. He the only reason why do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates, how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver. But I'm still a hot boy, cool down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a boss is. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They will be led out by their veteran quarterback. His 16th season from NC State, Philip Rivers.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to...
Pinegri 90, 180. Here we go, D, get off the field. 25, check 25, check 25.
Third and short yardage, Rivers. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. It's caught inside the 25. A first down and then some, 36 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What, does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And this is caught. It's Edelman. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is caught by Brown for a Cardinal touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Seahawks offense led out by number 3 Russell Wilson, the franchise's all-time leader in touchdown passes. And the Seahawks, they finished above 500 in all 7 of Wilson's seasons. But this year a little different. He'll work with a very young receiving core. No Doug Baldwin anymore in what promises to be a tough NFC West. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. They'll throw out wide, complete to Sanders. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. The big fella, the 40. Past the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham, his 1st touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music. Right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Watch tight end. Hey!
On 3rd down, Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Back deep is Dwayne Harris. This is taken at about the 14. They'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
You had to figure they'd try and get the ball to Julio early, and they did it right there. And it doesn't take a degree from MIT to know that, so you had to figure, what's up with the defense? You should know that that's coming right away.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Is complete to Jones. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Wilson to throw. He completes it to Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. It's caught by Sanders. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here because we missed out talking about these guys on the opening drive because they were in the end zone before we had a chance to even say anything. But let's keep an eye on these wideouts. QB already has 1 touchdown pass. You know he's looking for a few more before this one's over. Those wideouts will get plenty of opportunities to try and score again.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And they're a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. Has bred this big defensive tackle.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. From the left hash, this from 34. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's a quick throw finding Edelman. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
51, Mike 51.
Third and long for Rivers. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas. All day. Woo! Let's get it.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. 10-7 our score after one, right here on EA Sports. Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, first and 10 at their own 24. From the gun, it's Wilson. Complete to Jones. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6. From the gun, a run for Johnson. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. On second down, it's Hunt, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. From the 36, Rivers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Harris to return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. On 2nd down, Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Pass complete. But no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Rivers has been through this many times as he'll hustle his guys to the line. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the gun, Rivers. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. On the return, Harris. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Wilson now 11 for 11. Perfect in this opening half. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again. Wilson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Seahawks, first down.
Number 53, Mike 53.
Now Wilson on first down. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The intended receiver was David Johnson, but it's going to be second down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. David Johnson here on the catch. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 36. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll begin out in the Windy City of Chicago. And as they approach halftime, it's the Bears who are out in front. Michael Gallup, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Tennessee Titans. 27-14, the final tally. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play action. It's Wilson. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10, down at the 31. They'll run with Drake. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Wilson now off the bootleg. And that's complete to Sanders. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Watch it slap. Watch it slap.
Here's Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a...
And he's into the clear. 30, 10, 5... And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big run by Kareem Hunt, 74 yards. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around, not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Throwing Rivers. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. To throw is Rivers. They'll go screen here to Hunt. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Now Gostkowski will come on to try a field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
They go play action with Wilson. The connection made. It's Graham. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They go to Johnson again. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now Wilson. He gets this one to Johnson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Check, green 80, ground 80. Watch the boot, watch the boot.
Rivers on 1st down. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And Walker has it. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rivers on the crossing route. That's caught. Julian Edelman. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 4.
Again, it's Rivers. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Jones hit, and the ball's out. Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, Wilson. And Sanders has got it complete. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different. Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. From the 39, Wilson. And Graham's got it. Complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A bit of an opening there on the 1st down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4, Wilson. This to Graham on the short pass. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. It's caught by Sanders. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Wilson. It's caught outright by Graham. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now it's Wilson. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Got to give credit to both defenses because they've been able to keep the points down. And despite that incompletion, I like the way he's playing. He's putting up decent numbers. What he has to do, find a way to make that sound read and hit that 1 home run before this one's over.
Gano's kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13 to 10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. 3rd and long for Rivers. And he completes it to Hunt. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Tressway now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And now let's look at David Johnson. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence. If they just get their assignments down, they would get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. On the ground, this is Johnson. And his bid for the 1st down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now Brown. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Phillip Rivers, he is the focal point of our players' spotlight now. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins, we talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. But guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 30. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Extra point try for Gostkowski. And that will make this a 4-point game. The final score now from Chicago. And give that one to the Bears as they wind up winners. Andy Dalton, good game throwing the ball, over 300 passing yards. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So Wilson and the Seahawks down 17-13, 55 seconds remaining. Their perfect start to the season in jeopardy unless they can score here as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Jones has it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards. They'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. Here's Wilson. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. They'll try to run for the 1st down with Hunt. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Cards, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they're going to fall to 3-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.